Lisa sat in the class, and she couldn't help but feel strange, almost as if she did not belong there. However, this did not stop her from attempting to pay attention to the teacher, never wanting to do poorly in a class, and she always hated the idea of failing a test and not getting the best grade that she could. So she paid very close attention as the teacher rambled on about facts about a boat that she felt like she should recognize the name of. It seemed familiar. However, for some reason, it just seemed so distant and so unrecognizable in her memory. He was talking about a boat called the Titanic. The teacher went on to give several facts about the Titanic. In fact, he told them that it had costed, in its day, $7.5 million to build. And there were 20 horses that were needed to transport the main anchor. Imagine the size of that anchor, the teacher implored his students. 14,000 gallons of drinking water were used every single day. And every day as well, 40,000 fresh eggs were used for cooking. And as the teacher continued his lecture, Lisa could not help but feel as if she should know more about this boat. Looking around the room, everyone else seemed to know exactly everything about it, and yet it seemed so distant to her. She just could not figure out what in the world was wrong with her memory on this day. And as the teacher finally got across the enormous size of this ship and the number of people that were on it, he went on and told them that it was at 11:40 p.m. on the night of April the 14th in the year 1912, the very first voyage of the Titanic, that the Titanic struck an iceberg, and less than 3 hours later, around 2:20 in the morning, on the morning of April the 15th, the Titanic sank, and more than 1,500 people lost their lives in this tragedy, which was almost two-thirds of the people who were on board. So Lisa continued to listen and take notes frantically because she wanted to pass whatever test may be in the future. And it wasn't long into this class that all of a sudden she started to feel very strange. And it was like her ear was itching. And when she reached to scratch her ear, she felt like she was scratching it, but wasn't scratching it. And then she opened her eyes, and she realized that this entire thing had been nothing but a dream. Oh, what a relief this was to realize that all of these facts the teacher was sharing with her, she would not have to recount on any test. There would be no cramming or anything like that. What a relief. And it was one of those dreams when you wake up, you kind of forget where you are, and she looked around and realized she was not in her home. She was on vacation with her family, and she remembered at this moment that they had taken a vacation on a boat. In fact, she remembered that the name of the boat was the Titanic. And so when she remembered that, it was no coincidence in her mind why she had been dreaming about a boat called the Titanic, because obviously it had now been in her memory. And she couldn't get out of her mind what the teacher in her dream had been saying about this boat sinking. He had said that at 11:40 p.m. on the night of April 14th in the year 1912, the Titanic had sank. Well, she knew that this day that she had gone to sleep indeed was April 14th, 1912. Again, another coincidence, perhaps because she had been thinking this in her mind and it had made its way into her dream. But then she just couldn't help but wonder. She had this sinking feeling in her stomach. She went over to a small desk near the bed where her father's watch was lying, and she picked it up and looked at the time, and the time was precisely 11:39 p.m. I hope you liked this story. I know it was a bit short. If you did, go ahead and click the like button. If you haven't already subscribed, be sure to do that. There will be more stories, both fiction and coming up some nonfiction places of some historical sites that we will be recording. So if you like those kind of things and you would enjoy seeing those videos, make sure to subscribe and click the notifications so that you will always be notified whenever we post a new video. Thank you again for listening, and goodbye.